Today I want to talk about my first thoughts on Black Ops 6 Zombies. I'll give you some pros and cons to help paint the full picture of my experience in the game so far. And this is only covering Zombies mode, not multiplayer or campaign. These are just my thoughts and impressions as someone who's been a fan of the series since I was a kid. Again, this is just my opinion, and I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments. Alright, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get into the video. Okay, so let's start with the pros. And surprisingly, there are a lot of them. One of the best things about this game is the movement. It's no Black Ops 3 slide canceling, but Omni movement might be a close second. And since you can sprint, slide, and dive in any direction, perks like Stamina Up and PhD Flopper become even more fun to use. Also, you move a lot faster when you pull out your knife, making it easier to safely train zombies. Okay, next we can talk about the weapons. Now this is going to make a lot more sense if you played the game, but all the weapons have like a real weight to them, so it's really fun to shoot. And like most Call of Duties, there's a lot of weapon variety, so no matter your playstyle, you can probably find a weapon you like using. Not to mention there are attachments, as well as zombie-specific camos to unlock, giving you something to grind for each match. You can keep the beginning of each match feeling repetitive by simply customizing your weapon. Okay, so how do the maps look? Well, also really good. I think they're themed well, and the music really captures the vibe of old school zombies with kind of like a modern twist. Also, there are these new scripted events where you'll just open doors and see zombies attacking random people. It helps the map feel a lot more alive. And the new sound effects for the drops, like the voice that says "Insta-kill," is intimidating and makes me excited to pick one up. Also, this might seem like a small touch, but I really appreciate the uniqueness of each trap. On just the 2 released maps, the traps are completely different and yet just as fun to watch zombies walk into. Like imagine Shi No Numa without the flogger. Traps might seem simple, but they add a lot of individuality to each map. Okay, next, let's talk about the perks. In this game, we have Juggernog, Stamina Up, Speed Cola, Deadshot Daiquiri, Quick Revive, Elemental Pop, PhD Flopper, and the new Melee Macchiato. I would have liked Double Tap to come back, but we'll count that as a bonus con. Each of these perks pretty much feel like you'd expect, and similar to Cold War, you can even research them, as well as field upgrades and ammo mods to make them better. I can't speak too much about how much better they get, but I will say I'm excited to grind and see what happens. Now let's talk about the Wonder Weapons. Black Ops 6 released with 3 Wonder Weapons. I guess one main Wonder Weapon on each map, and then the ray gun. The Wonder Weapon on Terminus is the DRI-11 Beam Smasher, and I gotta say it's really fun, and I think it's really good. Left trigger stuns zombies, and right trigger melts them with like this death ray. I think it's a must if you're new at the game or you're trying to high round. And on Liberty Falls, we have the Thrustodyne Aeronautics Model 23, but it's the jet gun. The jet gun's back, and it's finally good. And then that brings us to the ray gun. And guys, I gotta say the ray gun feels better than ever. It's one of my biggest pros with this game. PhD coming back and the ray gun being upgraded just feels like a match made in heaven. The ray gun sounds different when it shoots, and it also has a different type of bullet that feels like it shoots quicker and further. Not to mention it does a ton of damage. It's seriously so fun though, and you definitely want to try to get this in the box. Overall, this game's fun, and I feel like I'm playing zombies again. Okay, it's finally time for the cons. And just so you know, many of these opinions are directly influenced by the golden age of zombies. Okay, so for starters, I don't like the loadout system. Why can't everyone just start with the same pistol like the good old days? And that's not just nostalgia talking. I think it'd be cool if everyone started out on even footing and actually had to strive to get something good out of the box. Like if I'm gonna start a game with my favorite weapon already swagged out in camos and attachments, my new goal becomes save money and upgrade that as soon as I get the chance. Like what is that? It literally takes away half the game mode. And guys, we need to go back to the original point system. Like yes, since points are based on kills, I guess every weapon has the same opportunity to get points. But let's say you're playing multiplayer and you died the last round. What happens if you spawn with a gray gun and you have no money? If you can't get kills, you can't make money. I miss when you could pick up a wall weapon to make money and have a wonder weapon to stay alive and clear waves. I also think pack-a-punching feels cheap and uninteresting. I like the fun names you get when you pack, but triple packing being a simple damage buff feels boring. I like that some weapons have explosive rounds, but take me back to the days when I could get a shotgun attachment on an AUG, or a grenade launcher on an M16. I just want to feel like every weapon has personality. Okay, so next let's talk about the characters. The way it works in Black Ops 6 is you can pick pick an operator before each match. Now many of the operators are just an aesthetic choice, but some of the operators are the canon characters for that map and will have unique voice lines. But I don't even like that you can choose who you play before each match. For example, loading into a game and hearing Richtofen's voice gave me a level of excitement that I just can't get today with these characters. What I'm saying is that in order to feel immersed in this world, I need more consistency. Okay, so next let's talk about salvage. I think that salvage might be the worst thing that's ever been introduced in Call of Duty Zombies. And it's essentially the same as Cold War. Salvage is used to increase your weapon tier and give it an ammo mod. It's also used to build things like armor and explosives, as well as things like sentry guns and chopper gunners. But here's the thing, I don't want to build these things. I don't want to build monkey bombs. I want to get monkey bombs out of the box and feel like I've been chosen for greatness. I don't want to use salvage to equip dead wire on my weapon. I want to pack my gun 5 times and hope I don't get fireworks again. And I don't want to build armor plates. In fact, I don't want armor plates at all. They give me too much health and they make perks like Juggernog feel obsolete. And quite honestly, it makes me feel like I'm playing Warzone or something instead of zombies. All these issues sit upon the shoulders of salvage, and I think we'd be looking at a completely different and better experience without this feature. Simply put, I think zombies is too easy. There are just too many ways to get out of any situation. This makes it less of the zombie survival challenge that I grew up loving. Okay, so thanks for listening to my rant so far, but let me give you some final thoughts. When I loaded into my first game, it felt a lot like Cold War and I was skeptical because I ditched Cold War after the second map came out. There's just a part in me that thinks this is going to get old fast, and I don't want that to happen because I'm so excited round-based zombies is back. As I kept playing though, and adjusted the HUD, I started to see that it wasn't quite the same. Grinding felt more rewarding, and for the first time in a while, I was having fun playing zombies. If I could give some advice to a new player or a Black Ops 6 zombies skeptic, I would say don't judge it too harshly for being different from what you're used to. Sure, a lot of the differences suck, but we're headed in the right direction for the first time in a long time. Go in with a positive attitude and try to appreciate the new things they gave us that could make zombies even more exciting than it has ever been. I'll conclude by saying we're not quite back to the zombies I fell in love with, but we're finally on track. If you stuck around to this point in the video, thank you so much. I'm sure I left stuff out or maybe said something you disagree with, so I'd love to keep the conversation going in the comments. Also, it wasn't easy for me to just get up in front of a camera and start talking, so if you enjoy these videos or you hate them, please let me know. Thanks again for watching, I'll catch you in the next one.